The last time Group 3 they discussed the approach of direct and indirect testing. Mr. Med discussed text construction that have three stages of constructions such as planning, writing, and reviewing, while Miss Evelyn discussed testing receptive skills, which are tested the listening and reading skills of students. After that, the productive skills, which are writing and speaking. Overall, the topic of Group 3 is about testing and how to produce a test in a different class of micro skills like listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. Good day everyone, welcome to our English class. Today, we are going to talk about nature of listening based on purpose, familiarity with the topic, and levels of difficulty. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Brief introduction. Listening in the Cinderella skills in the second language learning, listening and reading are there for secondary skills, means to other ends rather than ends of in themselves. Every so often, however, listening comes into fashion. All too often, it has been overlooked by its elder sister, speaking. For most people, being able to claim knowledge of a second language means being able to speak and write in that language. Most of us are familiar with the Cinderella's narrative in which she is unable to express her emotions or complain because her elder sister are dictatorial and refuse to listen to Cinderella. Next, 1960s emphasis on oral language skills. In the 1960s, the emphasis on oral language skills gave it a boost. It became fashionable again in 1980s when Carson's 1982 ideas about comprehensible input gained prominence. While in 1980s, Carson's 1982 idea about comprehensible input. During the 1980s, proponents of listening in a second language were also encouraged by work in a first language field. Here, people such as Gillian Brown or Brown in 1990 were able to demonstrate the importance of developing oracy or the ability to listen and speak, as well as literary in school. Prior to this, it was taken for granted that first language speakers needed instructions in how to read and write, but not how to listen and speak, because these skills were automatically bequeathed to them as native speakers. Next, we have the reinforcement of Carson's idea by James Ushers in 1988, total physical response. A short time later, it was reinforced by James Ushers in 1988. Total physical response methodology drawing sustenance from Carson's work and based on the belief that the second language is learned most effectively in the early stages if the pressure of production is taken off the learners. Now you know the brief introduction about nature of listening. Now let's define listening. As Rost in 1994 points out, listening is assuming greater and greater importance in foreign language classroom. There are several reasons for this growth in popularity. By emphasizing the role of comprehensible input, second language acquisition research has given a major boost to listening. Listening is a vital language classroom because it provides input for the learner. Without understanding input at the right level, any learning simply cannot begin. Listening is thus fundamental to speaking. And according to Robin 1995, listening is conceived of as an active process in which learners select and interpret informations which comes from auditory and visual clues in order to define what is going on and what the speakers are trying to express. While Helgeson in 2003 believes that the listening is an active, purposeful processing of making sense of what we hear. And always remember, listening is an essential skills used to communicate. It enables to completely understanding matters we hear and come up with appropriate feedback. Lastly, listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. Now let's discuss the two views of listening, which are the top-down and the bottom-up processing. But before we go there, let's discuss first the difference between hearing and listening. Do you have any idea? Many are confused by these two. Now let's reveal the truth. When you say hearing, it refers to the one's ability to perceive sounds by receiving vibration through ears, while listening is something done consciously that involves the analysis and understanding of the sounds you hear. Again, when you say hear, a sounds or noise comes into your ear without making an effort, accidental, involuntary, or effortless. For example, did you hear that noise? Another one, I can't hear anything because of the loud music. Another example for hearing is Med CJ Rivera and Dieter Archenta having a conversation. Med asked Dieter, have you heard that news that Rodrigo Duterte ran for vice president in the next election? Then Dieter responds, yeah, I heard about it last night. While listening, when you pay attention and try to listen to the sounds, focus, voluntary, intentional. For example, I'm talking about nature of listening. Are you paying attention? Are you listen with me? Another example. Listen, I can hear a baby crying. Let us now proceed to our discussion of the two views of listening. The two views of listening have dominated language pedagogy since the early 1980s. They are the bottom-up processing view and the top-down interpretation view. When you say the bottom-up processing model assumes that the listening is a process of decoding the sounds that one hears in a linear fashion from the smallest meaningful units or phonemes to complete a text. According to this view, phonemic units are decoded and linked together to form words. Words are linked together to form phrases. Phrases are linked together to form utterances. And utterances are linked together to form complete meaningful text. In other words, the process is a linear one in which meaningful itself is derived as the last step in the process. In their introduction to listening, according to Anderson and Lange in 1988, called this the listener as a tape recorder view of listening because it assumes that the listener takes in and stores messages sequentially in much the same way as tape recorder one sounds, one word, one phrase, and one utterance at a time. The alternative top-down view suggests that the listener actively constructs or more accurately reconstructs the original meaning of the speaker using incoming sounds as clues. In this reconstruction process, the listener uses prior knowledge of the context and situation within which the listening takes place to make sense of what he or she hears. Context and situation include the such thing as knowledge of the topic at hand, the speakers and their relationship to the situation as well as the each other and prior events. This day, it generally recognized that bottom-up and top-down strategies are necessary in developing courses, materials, and lesson. It is important to teach not only bottom-up processing skills such as the ability to discriminate between minimal pairs, but also to help learners use what they already know to understand what they hear. If teachers suspect that there are gaps in their learners' knowledge, the listening itself can be proceed by the schema building activities to prepare learners for the listening tasks to come. This is the most efficient technique to better comprehend the two views of listening. When you say the bottom up, the listener attempts to make sense of the language sounds or word by word with less use of background knowledge. The listener relies on the language in the message, like for example, sounds, word, and grammar that creates the meaning. For example, listening for specific details, recognizing word order patterns, recognizing word sounds, or recognizing cognates. Next we have top-down. The listener uses background knowledge of the topic to make sense of what he or she listened to. Also, the listener already know a fair amount of information about the topic, and he or she is able to relate a story or information into a prior knowledge. Like for example, listening for a main idea, making predictions, drawing inferences, summarizing, or take down notes. And now that we have the different views of listening, let us now proceed to our activity. Let's try this activity. I know you can do this. Just identify what kind of view of listening was used in each sentence. Are you ready? Number 1. Your friend calls to invite you to party at her house on Sunday. As you've never been to her house before, she gives you directions. You listen carefully and make notes. What do you think is the view of listening used? The answer is Bottom up, correct. Number 2, you listen as well as your teacher shared with you how she spent her holiday break. The correct answer is top down. Very good. Last one. In one of your classes, your teacher asks you to listen to pre-recorded conversation and identify where the conversation took place. The answer is top down. That's correct. Congratulations. Again, when you say bottom-up processing is externally based, it involves the listener paying close attention to every detail of the language input. While the top-down is internally based, it involves the listener ability to prior information to bear on the task of understanding the heard language. And that's all the content of my report. Thank you for watching and listening. This is Arnel Estausalme, and I'll see you again next time.